Buckle up, Buttercup. This video will make you realize that the shiny rock you're wearing caused more chaos than all the social media platforms combined. Let's dig into humanity's most expensive obsession, the ancient origins. Our story begins 6,500 years ago in the Varna necropolis, a burial site on the shores of the Black Sea in what's now Bulgaria, where an early human crafted a tiny gold pendant, the oldest gold artifact ever discovered by archaeologists. Now, this person had options. They could have made their jewelry out of copper, which was everywhere, or iron, or literally any other shiny rock. But no, they chose gold, and humanity has been losing its collective mind over this metal ever since. But if Bulgaria planted the seed, Egypt turned gold obsession into a full-blown religion. These people didn't just like gold, they were obsessed with it. To them, gold wasn't just pretty, it was literally the flesh of the gods. Ra, their sun god, made of gold. The afterlife? Golden. The pharaohs? They were basically walking golden deities who demanded to be buried in enough bling to make a rapper jealous. Take King Tutankhamun. This guy died when he was 19, and they buried him with over 220 pounds of solid gold. That's not a burial, that's a flex that lasted 3,000 years. His death mask alone weighs 22 pounds of pure gold. For perspective, that's worth more than $1.3 million today. The Egyptians got so good at finding and mining gold that by 1500 BC, they were basically the Fort Knox of the ancient world. They had mines in Nubia, mines in the eastern desert, mines everywhere. Other civilizations would literally trade entire harvests, livestock, and probably their firstborn children for a handful of Egyptian gold. Sounds like a totally balanced economic strategy, right?
Not so sure.
But here's the thing. Why gold? Why did every ancient civilization independently decide gold was the ultimate prize? Copper was more useful for tools. Iron was stronger for weapons. Silver was easier to find. Yet somehow, from Egypt to China to the Americas, every culture took one look at gold and completely lost their minds over it. The money revolution. Fast forward to the 6th century BCE, and enter King Croesus of Lydia, basically modern-day Turkey. Croesus looked at the ancient economy, people trading goats for grain, hauling around livestock to buy stuff, and thought, this is ridiculous. What if we just made money out of gold? Revolutionary, genius, absolutely game-changing. The world's first standardized gold coins were born. These weren't just random gold chunks anymore. They had official stamps, consistent weights, and suddenly you could buy a house without bringing a whole farm to the negotiation. Croesus became so wealthy from this innovation that his name literally became synonymous with being loaded. Then the Romans showed up and took the gold obsession to industrial levels. Around the 1st century CE, they built a mine at Las Medulas in Spain, so massive they literally redirected entire rivers to blast away mountains with water. They moved 300 million tons of earth to get at the gold underneath. That's like digging up Manhattan. Twice. The environmental damage was so severe, you can still see the scars from space today. But wait, the madness intensifies. The smartest people alive, and I mean legitimate geniuses like Isaac Newton, spent their time trying to turn lead into gold. They called it alchemy. Emperors funded them. The Catholic Church investigated them. Everyone wanted the secret. They tried everything: heating metals, mixing lead with pigeon poop, prayer, and literal magic spells. Spoiler alert, they failed. Completely. Sounds like they eventually gave up and moved on, right?
Wrong.
They kept trying for 2,000 years until the 1700s. Even after the scientific revolution, people were still convinced they could hack the universe and create gold in their basement laboratories. The good news? They accidentally invented chemistry, metallurgy, and laid the groundwork for modern science. And this, people, is how gold went from shiny divine metal to the foundation of literally everything wrong with human psychology. But we were just getting started. Quick thought experiment. If aliens visited Earth right now and saw us storing yellow metal bars in underground vaults, fighting wars over shiny rocks, and keeping most of it locked away where nobody can use it, would they think we're the dumbest species in the galaxy?
Probably.
Fair point. But here's why we're actually not completely insane. Why gold works. So what made gold special? Gold has literal superpowers that no other metal can match. First superpower, malleability. Gold is so soft you can hammer it into sheets thinner than paper without it breaking. 1 ounce of gold can be stretched into a wire 50 miles long. Ancient craftsmen figured this out and started making gold leaves thinner than human hair. Try doing that with literally any other metal without expensive equipment and extreme heat. You can't. Second superpower, it doesn't react with anything. Oxygen? Gold laughs at oxygen. Water? Please. Acid? Barely scratches it. You could bury gold in your backyard, dig it up in 1,000 years, and it would look exactly the same. Try that with iron and you'll find just a pile of rust. Gold treats time like a mild inconvenience. It's basically immortal. So gold is indestructible and easy to work with. No wonder every civilization that found it became obsessed. And that's how humanity's most expensive love affair began, with a metal that, little did they know, was born from the most violent events in the universe. But we'll get to that cosmic plot twist later. Some facts about gold. Now here's a mind bender that'll make you question everything. All the gold ever mined in human history would only fill about 3.5 Olympic-sized swimming pools. That's it! For something we've literally killed each other over for millennia, the total amount would barely fill 4 swimming pools. For perspective, we produce more steel in 1 hour than we've mined gold in all of human history. This scarcity drove people absolutely bonkers. In 1848, someone found gold in California, and 300,000 people immediately dropped everything and traveled across an entire continent, many dying along the way, for a chance of getting rich. This is known as the California Gold Rush. Families literally broke apart because Dad heard gold and disappeared into the wilderness for years. Most of them found nothing but disappointment. Classic humanity. Fast forward to today, and gold is everywhere but also nowhere. It's widely used in electronics. Your smartphone right now contains about 50 cents worth of gold. We put gold in our phones because it conducts electricity perfectly and never corrodes. We put more gold in our pockets than most medieval peasants saw in their entire lives, and we use it to argue with strangers on the internet.
Progress!
NASA puts gold in spacesuits because it reflects solar radiation better than anything else. Meanwhile, people eat gold leaf on their food, which does absolutely nothing except create the world's most expensive poops. For most of modern history, the entire global economy ran on the gold standard. Paper money was literally backed by physical gold in vaults. Then in 1971, President Nixon said, "Actually, let's just pretend paper has value on its own," and ended it. We've been running on trust ever since. Speaking of trust, Fort Knox. That's where the USA supposedly keeps 4,580 tons of gold reserves, worth over $400 billion. Here's the fun part. The last full audit was in 1953. Nobody's actually checked if all that gold is still there in 70 years. We're just trusting. It's a whole new level of trust me, bro. Nothing suspicious about that at all. But all of this raises the ultimate question. Why is gold so rare in the first place? Only 4 parts per billion in Earth's entire crust. Where did it even come from? And why is there so little of it? Drum roll! The answer isn't underground. It's out there. Where gold comes from. Basically, gold doesn't come from Earth. It literally cannot form on Earth, or in regular stars, or even in regular supernovas. Those aren't hot enough, don't have enough pressure, don't have the right conditions. Gold only forms in the most powerful, catastrophic events in the entire universe, when neutron stars collide. Let me explain what that actually means because it's genuinely absurd. Neutron stars are basically the ultra-dense corpses left behind after massive stars explode in supernovas. Take our sun, which is 100 times wider than Earth, and crunch it down to the size of Manhattan. That's a neutron star. A single teaspoon of neutron star material would weigh as much as Mount Everest.
Insane.
It's matter so dense that physics starts breaking its own rules. Now imagine 2 of these cosmic monsters, each one a city-sized ball of impossible density, spiraling toward each other at 1/3 the speed of light. When they collide, the explosion is so violent, it literally rips space-time apart and sends gravitational waves across the universe. And in that moment of unimaginable destruction, as temperatures reach levels billions of times hotter than the sun's core, and the laws of physics are pushed to their absolute breaking point, that's where heavy elements like gold are forged. It's the cosmic equivalent of 2 gods having a fist fight. This isn't a theory. In 2017, scientists actually watched this happen in real time. The LIGO Observatory in Louisiana detected gravitational waves from 2 neutron stars colliding 130 million light-years away. Telescopes around the world swung toward the source and witnessed the aftermath. A kilonova explosion that lit up the cosmos. And they calculated that this single collision created somewhere between 10 to 20 Earth masses worth of pure gold. Let that sink in. These collisions happen roughly once every 100,000 years per galaxy. The gold atoms spread through space, drifting for millions or billions of years, eventually becoming part of new solar systems, new planets. The gold in your ring? The gold in your phone? Every gold medal at the Olympics, the gold that ancient Egyptians worshipped, it all came from a neutron star collision that happened about 4.6 billion years ago, roughly 80 million years before our solar system even formed. The universe had to literally tear itself apart to make the stuff we've been fighting over for 6,000 years. No wonder it's rare. Almost out of gold. But here's the kicker. we might have already hit peak gold. With all our technology, all our mining operations, all our satellites, we may have already found most of Earth's accessible gold. Sure, there's more deep underground, but getting to it becomes exponentially harder and more expensive. Some scientists think we'll run out of economically viable gold deposits within a few decades. But don't panic, there's a backup plan, and it's absolutely bonkers. There's an asteroid called 16 Psyche floating in the asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter. Scientists think it's the metallic core of a destroyed protoplanet, basically a failed planet that got smashed apart billions of years ago, and it's loaded with precious metals. The estimated gold content alone? Enough to give every single person on Earth $93 billion. 93 billion. Make it rain. Of course, if everyone suddenly had $93 billion, a loaf of bread would immediately cost $50 million due to inflation, but details. NASA is actually sending a spacecraft to study it in 2029. We're not mining it yet, but we're thinking about it real hard. For 6,000 years of human obsession, we had no idea we were fighting over pieces of the universe's most destructive moments. We just knew this stuff was special. Maybe our subconscious somehow recognized that we were holding something the universe worked incredibly hard to create. Or maybe we just like shiny things and came up with good reasons later. Probably both. But think about it. That Bulgarian dude that made the pendant from 6,500 years ago was wearing a piece of the cosmos and didn't even know it. We know it now. Every time you look at gold, you're looking at proof that the universe is far more creative and spectacular than our ancestors ever imagined. And there you have it, the origins of humanity's shiniest obsession. So what have we learned today?
Something!
If anything, that gold isn't precious just because we decided it was. It's precious because the universe literally body-checked 2 stars to make it. Every piece of gold is a cosmic miracle that took billions of years and unimaginable power to create. I'm Gigi, and if you enjoyed this video, like, subscribe, and comment below what other crazy story you want me to unpack next. And until next time, stay curious, keep questioning everything, and remember, you're way more valuable than gold, because you're not made from just one stellar explosion, but dozens of them. You're basically a walking cosmic smoothie, and that's way cooler than any jewelry. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Hey, you might like this video too.